Snow Day Wednesday for the old cheap audio man. Kids have been out of school this is day 2 or 3, day 2. So as you can imagine, a little bit stressed out. Turn this down. Thank you for joining me early. Figured we do the live stream before we start having rolling blackouts. Because Texas doesn't know how to handle the snow. Hey, Ben. We're snowed in, Ben. It would be old hat to you, though. You'd be out there in your shorts and a Hawaiian shirt, just loving how warm it is. Scott Walters, let's do this. Cam Club, Cam Fam. We're all part of the Cam family. Snow in the Houston area. No, I'm up in Dallas, Fort Worth. Yeah. Mixing it up today, John. Actually, John, they're saying there may be some rolling blackouts. So I figured I'd get this out before the power lines went down because of freezing stuff. You should be, Ben. You should be ashamed of yourself. Just kidding. Actually, my Wi-Fi was so bad on Sunday night. We did the veterans Zoom meeting. And then I couldn't even, my internet was so bad. I opened it and let John Shepler kind of run the show, but I didn't participate on Sunday either. Straight ice in Fort Worth. Yup. I just went to Walmart. I have an all-wheel drive vehicle, so it's not terrible, but man, it's slick. It's 6:15 p.m. here in the Netherlands. Yay! Netherlands. Thank you. Thank you so much. Chun, just discovered the channel. Great stuff. Thank you for your excellent content. Thank you, Chun. Thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Howdy doody, mid-fi man. Hey, if y'all could like this thing, give it a thumbs up because we're going a little bit different time. So if you thumbs it up, it may get promoted a little bit more. Ricardo Martini, all the way from Italy. Wow. Thank you for joining. I went to Benbrook, Wally World. Yuck. Yeah. I just went to the one off of Golden Triangle. Steve Gray, 65 degrees in South Carolina. It's I think it's in the high 20s here. Hey Randy, I bought 2 of the A07 amps, but they told me I have to be a pro with soldering. Is that true? No, not at all, man. The A07 has op amp sockets. So there's 2 op amps in there, and you legitimately just have to kind of move them back and forth a little bit with, I don't know, a little piece of plastic. You can use a screwdriver, but generally speaking, they don't. Anyway, there's a little thing that's actually soldered into the board that has 6 pins. You pull out the old op amp and then you put in the new op amp, making sure that you have them lined up in the direction that they're supposed to go. So if you can run a screwdriver to take off the enclosure, then you can pop it off, put a new one in there, and you'll be good to go. Sweden, cold, rainy, and windy. Hate this time of year. We don't get very much winter here where I live. So when we do get some winter, the entire place shuts down. So it's been shut down for a while. Sorry, I got to text somebody on a live stream right now. Right now. Robert Mitchell. Hey, man. Don Lieberman. 8 pins. Okay, sorry, 8 pins. I was only 2 off. Steven loves winter. I don't mind winter either. I wish we got a little bit more of it in Texas. I didn't realize people were upgrading their op amps on A07. It's nice to hear it has a socket. Hold on. I got to text my wife. The dog's going bananas. Since the girls are home, The dogs are going bananas. Where's the vacuum? Hey, I'm on a live stream. Can you go away, please? Thank you. It's my 18-year-old daughter. There's a lot of moving parts and pieces to this today. Compact disc guy saw the video of Expressway in Dallas. Not nice out there at all. Yeah, I was just staying kind of in the local area, and there's a couple of stores still open, which is cool. But yeah, I have 3 children in the house, and apparently they all need me right now. John wants to be free range. Yes, does want to be free range. I wish that thing would have passed QC. It would have been out the door a long time ago, but it just hangs around. Can you go away, please? Good stuff. Well, I wouldn't have said that to my younger daughters, but she's 18, so she can handle that. Hola, from a Canadian living in Mexico. That sounds lovely. My 18-year-old never wants to talk to me. Lucky you. Well, generally, it's like transactional. She only wants to know what she wanted to was where's the vacuum, because apparently I'm the only guy in the house that knows where the vacuum is. But she's having her it's complicated friend coming over. So I said, and I asked her, I would go, are you dating anybody else? Is he dating anybody else? Because they broke up. It's a bad breakup, but apparently they're back together. I go, it's not complicated. You're dating him again, especially if he wants to come to the house. So what's complicated about that? 18-year-old girls. I think it's wonderful when your family life is involved. Do you? Well, you're going to get some of it today. Because not only does she not know where the vacuum cleaner is, she's not really proficient in actually using the vacuum, because we have a lot of females that live here and dogs. So the thing gets clogged up like immediately, and nobody knows how to well, people know how to unclog it, but they just choose not to, thinking that if it just continues to clog up, that the vacuum will continue to work. Don't get me started. Actually, I was putting some material together to maybe do some stand-up, and it's all about family life. Do your kids appreciate hi-fi or just want wireless AirPods? My stepson really does. He's got a turntable. He's got a full home theater set up. He's got great headphones. My stepdaughter just likes earbuds or stuff, but occasionally I'll put them on her head, and she says, oh wow, that's pretty awesome. And my wife, kind of the same thing. I'll like make her sit down occasionally, and so she kind of likes it, but she doesn't really care. She legit uses the speakers on her TV, and I have a sound bar in there, but of course the HDMI was sketchy on it, so now she just uses the TV because she doesn't want to mess with it. D1N02. I was looking, hoping she wants. I was hoping she was looking for some tubes to roll. No. Why did it go out of focus? Why is my camera out of focus? What is it focusing on? My camera's all wonky, everybody. What is going on here? There we go. Stand up. Interesting. Done any open mic? No, that's what it was going to be. Some open mic. It's too warm here in Colorado today. 36. It's actually a little bit colder here. Oh, vacuum tubes. Get it? Wink, wink. Yeah. Sorry, I missed that one. Movie Junkie John. Hey, Randy. FYI, after some testing, I realized the IEMA T9 max volume is 30. So 15 clicks up is halfway and good listening for most. Max only for some weaker audio streams. Very cool. I'm glad clip, which is good. And you know that volume knobs are not linear. Some volume knobs don't have a ton of aren't attenuating a lot of voltage on like the front half, and then most of the voltage is attenuated on the last quarter. So a lot of people think that if you put it at 50%, that's 50% power, and that's actually not true. But it depends on the volume pot, I guess. It's really complicated. For the longest time, I thought, hey, if I put it at 12 o'clock, that should be 50% power. But it's not true. It's not true. Me being your age and having 3 kids, listening to, watching you is like watching my life through a comedy filter. I'm glad that you like that. Because sometimes it's funny to other people. It's not funny to me at the time. Any updates on Sith Audio's 2023 product line? No, I should make something though. What do you want me to make? Any gear for sale? I'm thinking about putting up some Polk XT20s, some Polk SE15s, because I bought both of those and I'm probably not going to be using them anymore. They're good. They're both good, but I'll just probably never use them. And then maybe some vintage stuff. I don't sell any of the stuff that's given to me anymore. I think I did that once or twice. But if it's given to me, then it gets given away generally to my patrons. So if you're a patron, a lot of stuff gets given away there. I gave away 14 items over our Christmas party. So we had a holiday party, and it was a black elephant thing where Dirty Santa, where you like give gifts and then people can steal the gifts or whatever. And I gave away 14, mostly DACs over that thing, which is cool. Any chance you have more insider info about any new Skit stuff? Well, I'm actually listening to some Skit stuff. This is the Freya N. And then down at the bottom, I have 2 tiers. And then right here is a Lokius. Funny thing is, though, I'm using a Gishelli Labs DAC. So I almost went all Skit, but I couldn't help myself. I had to put the Gishelli Labs in there. I have the Freya N on right now. Lovely. Yeah, I don't hate it. Usually I'm not a big fan of tubes, and I didn't love the Freya Plus. I kind of like the regular Freya, but it was a little bit complicated as far as just a straight preamp. So I didn't use it, but I wanted to give this one a chance. So I've been listening to the Freya, and it's pretty good. Hey there, from Rhode Island. Love your channel. I spent a summer in Rhode Island, in Newport, maybe a little bit of time in Providence. I just bought the Skit DAC you recommended. Still waiting. Which one? The Modi multi-bit? Darn, the Freya is a lot bigger than I thought it was. Yeah, it's not. I mean, I think it's like, yeah, it's a regular 17 inches wide. So like the typical component size. Modi 3. Affordable speaker cables. Which brand? I'd make your own. You can get 50 foot of like 99.7% copper, not copper clad aluminum, but regular copper, probably 12 gauge. And then just buy some banana plugs, make them. You can get the kind of nice shielding. It's not really shielding, it's just a cover that goes over there. And then you can use heat shrink, or I just use electrical tape. That's usually how I make mine. I think there's some Amazon Basics branded speaker cables, which are pretty good. I think World's Best Cables may offer some terminated cables. Oh, there's another company. They're out of Wichita, Kansas, and they are Periapt. I think they're making some speaker cables right now. Can I stop being silly on your videos, please? Barry Blue, is that a serious question? I would like to get Barry has the floor right now. So if you come back up, I want to talk about this. Let me pull up Periapt. Let's see. Periapt cables. I think, yeah. All right. And then I'm going to move this over here. And then we're going to share the screen. Let's see. Has Barry come back? Barry Blue. Barry, I want some explanation. Share screen. Share screen. And it is funny how my phone always rings when I'm doing this. All right, so here's Perry app. Let's go. Products. And they're made in the US. Can't really see all of them. There's 14 gauge speaker cable. So you can get, let's see, you can get 6 foots for, I don't know, what are these, 45 bucks? 45 bucks. Okay, 6 foot. You can get some sleeving on there for another 5 bucks. See, this is pretty reasonable. 18 foot. I guess when you start getting into pairs, they start getting pretty expensive. This isn't terrible though. But yeah, I mean, if you really want to save money though, I would just make your own, because it's kind of funny. Keep being silly. Puts a smile on your face. I want to see where he went though. Barry Blue. Let's see if Barry is back. No, I don't see Barry. Barry may have bailed. All right. Yeah, being silly. I'm not going to be anybody that I'm not. I like cracking jokes, so I'm going to be who I am. And like, there's plenty of like straight audio review channels. Plenty. So who doesn't like making a joke every now and again? E.T. himself, cool Predator picture. Any idea as to why pitting one hands over quality headphone ears tightly with the bass response improves greatly? Amazing. Thanks. Oh, well, if it's an open headphone, then you're actually enclosing it, and then you have basically an enclosure, and so the bass is going to sound stronger. If it's not, and you're cupping your hands, then you're actually making the seal better, which again, you're more enclosed. So that's why. That is why. By the way, if you 50% of all the super chats are going to go to Feeding America, which is a charity for people that don't have enough food. So we gave last week. I think I'm going to start doing it every week. And I put out a vote to everybody, and it was between Homes for Our Troops and Feeding America, and then Feeding America won. All right. Silly is good. I'm a knucklehead. I need tomfoolery with me, with my audio fun. I agree. Who doesn't love a little bit of tomfoolery? I like it when you crack jokes. Awesome. Barry Blue, we need his tomfoolery. There you go. Doing an interview with Cheap Audio Wife. 0 chance that's happening. And what she thinks of your success on YouTube. Things we don't know about you, etc. That would be fun, but I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening. I would say tweeters inward for the SSCS5. Greetings and salutations. Hello, George. George, is that your profile picture from when you're a senator? Senator Santos? Senator Santos. I'm using an SMSL A1 for now, but I still would like a made in America amp. I don't know that one. Is that a speaker amp? A1? Oh, tweeters inward for better imaging. At Stale. Really? All right. All right. What did Stale say? There's a question. I missed the question, but There's people chiming in on it. Anyway, it's too far up. Fozzy Audio DA 2120A versus 2120C. Ooh, I think I just had the 2120A somewhere. I think I just put it up. Let me pull that up. I don't remember the 2120C. Fozzy Audio 2120C. Oh, yeah. Let me share my screen. So I didn't love this one. I like the 2120, not because of its feature set or anything. I just thought the 2120A sounded better. And I think the 2120A actually has maybe lower power. I think this is the one that I just did. Huh, no. Yeah, I just did this one, I think. Yeah, I think I prefer the 2120A. Not very good at this. Thinking Barry, I unhappy. He may need some nice cheap audio. Oh, could be Barry. Oh, there he is. Did your daughter flush the Dragonfly Red down the toilet? No. I have a Dragonfly Blue right here. Dragonfly Red is in my backpack. I thought Outwards would have better imaging. There is a conversation going on in here, and I don't know where it started. Hey, someone gave me a super chat. Hey, Ray Munn, $9.99 super sticker. Thank you. $5 going to Feeding America. Thank you so much. Thoughts on Yamo home speaker stereo speakers? They're pretty good. I think the concert series or the C series, so like Yamo C93 Mark II, really good speaker. Little bit or a lot of it U-shaped, V-shaped, so there's a bit of a pop on the bottom and some spice on top. So there, I think that audiophiles wouldn't consider them to be like super linear and flat sounding. I think they sound great though. Dialogue can be a little bit or a lot of bit forward for home theater applications, but if you have a center speaker, it doesn't matter. You can also look at the S series, S803, 804, 805, 806. They're pretty good. They're cheap. So if you move them around a lot, they're probably going to start to delaminate, but they sound good. So, I mean, if you're on a budget, the S series is pretty good. I like Yamo. I like the C series from Yamo quite a bit. Berry Blue, Dragonfly Red or iFi Hip DAC 2. I've never heard the Hip DAC 2. So I'd have to say Dragonfly Red. You're back. I wanted to ask you, you said something. Oh, here you go. That's Barry again. I wanted to know why you told me not to be silly on the videos. Are you a certified hater? That's what somebody said. Barry, are you a certified hater? I can't find it. Anyway. JBL, not JLB. Did your phone do some self-correction? Randy, if your house caught fire, what 3 items would you run back in to save? Funny enough, my back porch caught fire about a month ago. It still hasn't been completely repaired. If like the house was on fire, I mean, it would be like pictures or like heirloom type of stuff, like probably the watch my dad gave me. You know, that kind of the stuff that can never be replaced type of stuff. But I wouldn't care about like any of my stereo stuff. Even though some of the vintage stuff might never be able to be replaced, it would still be like family stuff. You know what I mean? maybe a couple Metallica records. I might grab the thing. I might grab the record simply because it's easy to grab and I know where everything is at. But yeah, most of it would be if any of it was audio, it'd probably be just be my vinyl because it's super easy to grab. ABX Audiophile, what up? Hola, brother. Hey, if you're not subscribed to the ABX Audiophiles channel, you should go over and subscribe. He's got great videos. Hola, brother. Cheers. May your coffee be warm and music sound great. Thank you. And thank you. 250 going to Homes, not Homes, Feeding America. Let me get a link to ABX Audiophiles thing, and then I'll put it in there. You guys click on it and go subscribe to his excelente channel. I need to move this monitor up so I can see it. I'm doing these. ABX Audiophile. Right. Click on that. Do that. Copy. And paste. All right. Everybody click on that and then subscribe and then come right back. Come right back. Thanks, man. $19.99. $10. Buy 10 meals. Kids think Dragonfly fled. The kids think Dragonfly Red is a toy. Fortunately, that doesn't look like a toy. It just looks like a weird lipstick thing with a wire coming out of the end. Outdoor Shellback 1. I got a pair used 2 days ago for $100. Was torn between the Sonys and these, but the A130s are so clean looking. Yeah, they're good speakers too. I think I would still probably end up with the Sonys, but I think I actually think the JBL's A130s are more audiophile speaker. I don't think they're quite as fun as the Sonys. I have 2 strong subs in a very small room. What is the best placement? Anyone with some info? Thanks. I would start with 1 and do the sub crawl, or put the sub where you sit if it's a small room, and then you do the sub crawl around the perimeter of the room, and then wherever it sounds the best, then put the sub back over there. And then I would listen to it with 1 sub, and then I would add in the other sub in the same way. So get 1 sub right, and then put the other sub where you sit with the other sub on, and then do another sub crawl, and then put that one wherever sounds the best. That's what I would do. Simon Hackshaw, my good friend, $10. Thank you, Simon. $5 is going to Feeding America. And they say that they can get a meal for every 10 cents, which I don't understand how that's possible, but they say it is. Thank you again for the opportunity to support you and charity. Good to see you streaming without lag. Yeah. Simon was on my patron Zoom, and we had a heck of a time. And my internet just fixed itself, which I knew it would. I knew that there was something going on, and the next day it would be better. And it is. Barry Blue likes the vibe in this chat. Thank you, Barry. Barry's not a hater at all. Prosper Cables for keeping the money local in Fort Worth and Dallas Metroplex. Oh, cool. His speaker cables look wonderful. That's cool, man. If he's in Dallas, Fort Worth, I should reach out to him. If you know him, tell him to reach out to me. I place my subs front and back. There you go. A07 or TB10D for pure, clean power. I think the 10B10D maybe comes with a bigger power supply. It's kind of the same. So they both can have upgraded power supplies. So on paper, in theory, they can both put out the same amount of power. What you're getting with the TB10D is tone controls. But if you want to roll the op amps, the A07 is probably the way to go. So depends which way you want to go. Anthony Bruce, $10. Thank you. $5 going to Feeding America. Hey, newbie bought the ELAC 5.2s. Wing Pro, waiting on Gishelli DAC, using old Sony AV-STRDE305. Thanks for your recommendations and charity. Thank you. Sounds like a heck of a system. You know what other speaker I really miss is the ELAC 5.2s, the B 5.2s, not the Unifies. I already have those. The B 5.2s. I miss those because they were really good and they have a tendency to go on pretty deep sales. Wing Pro's incredible. I'm listening to it right now. It's right there. Actually, I think that's Joe Cocker live. All right, we got some questions about receivers. MR1 is the same as the MC1. Facebook page for Prosper Cables. I think I'm actually streaming from Facebook too right now. I can do both. I can do like a whole bunch of streams. I need to figure this out because I think I can stream from Instagram too, which would be pretty cool, I guess. Maybe Twitter. Have you heard how long of a backlog Gishelli has on the J2? Ordered 6 weeks ago. Still waiting. I'm not sure. I think they're digging out of it though. So hopefully yours is not. I think they have on their page how many business days they're back. Let's see. All right. In order to clear backlog, we are remaining on back order status into the new year. As soon as we catch up, we'll resume normal operations. All right, let's check on. We'll go to J2, see if it says anything. Available on back order. Okay, so it doesn't give a specific day. I know when I talked to them, they told me they were behind, but they didn't say. I know at one point they were 21 business days behind. But I also know that they're also working on the weekends too. So business day just isn't, 5 days a week. So I know that they are working about as much around the clock as they can. I hope Apple TV 4K will get an upgrade to play Apple Music high-res lossless because only receivers can play the spatial audio. Apple Music uses Dolby Atmos. Let's see if I'm following this correctly. Only receivers can play the spatial audio. Apple Music uses Dolby Atmos. I think that the Apple Atmos, is kind of keyed up to play the best with their AirPod Pro 2s because I think that's their gimmick right there. Now, as far as 4K, Apple Music, I'm not sure because I'm not an Apple Music guy anymore. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. That would be cool though. They say spatial audio is kind of like the way of the future, which is pretty cool. The problem is a lot of times it just sounds like a parlor trick. Like I don't know if things are actually recorded in that way or if it's just like we're going to do a little bit of reverb here. And they've been doing that forever, and usually it doesn't sound great. Devlar, topping E50 or DX3 Pro? Not even a question. Topping E50, 100%, all the way. I think we got another super chat. Steve Zeidman, $9.99. Glad to help less fortunate. Steve-O. Steve is one of my patrons. He's been with the channel since the beginning. There's a delay on the road filling. He's talking to John Shepler. John Shepler, father of Octopus. Ooh, Octopus is a little warm. Freya's putting off some heat. Luckily, he hasn't melted. That's Octopus. Actually feels pretty good on a cold day. I can't even hold on to this. I mean, that's That's power amp heat right there. Very efficient. Apparently the Freya N's super efficient. When you gonna review my IEMA T9 Pro? New IEMA T9. I don't know. I'll have to look and see if I have it. I've got a few things that I need to get to though. What is the best orientation for SSC S5s placed horizontally? That's what we were saying to figure out earlier. I don't know, man. I mean, when a speaker's not really designed to do that, just play with it. I mean, go one way or the other way, you know, and then just see which one sounds better. I mean, when people start to do that, like all rules go out the door. And if you have them in your home and you want to run them horizontally, then just do it. And then whichever one sounds better, do it that way. And there could be like rules of thumb and stuff, but they all go out the window when you have the ability to do it on your own. Try it both ways. Best way to place a sub is to place it right next to your listening space. Then play music with bass. Find the corner in the room where the bass is noticeably pronounced. Place the sub in the corner. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. That's kind of what I said. Put the sub where you're sitting and then do the sub crawl. I've done that before. T9 Pro is cool. Sound better with a DAC, of course, but I like having the remote and the connections. I mean, realistically, how much can it affect sound? I don't know what you're asking there, Michael. I don't know which one. Martin, $20, $10 for coffee, $10 for Homes for Our Troops. Martin, this week we're given to Feeding America. We'll probably do one where we go back to Homes for Our Troops. Martin, good to see you, my friend. I imagine you are always working, but do you watch anything on the YouTube? I watch YouTube all the time. I don't watch audio channels, but ooh. Okay, you ready? Let's talk about some YouTube. I watch Donut Media, which I absolutely love. They are a car channel. Donut Media. It's hilarious. They also do tool reviews and like commentary. It's so much fun. I watch Project Farm, and Project Farm, they literally just compare tools. And there's not like a whole bunch of commentary on it. He's just comparing tools and floor jacks and all sorts of stuff. So I love Project Farm, love Donut Media. I watched Camera Guys, so like Tony and Chelsea Northrup, Peter McKinnon. I love Tested, which is Adam Savage. He's from Mythbusters. So I watch a lot of Tested. I watch a lot of car channels too. The other ones aren't popping off the top of my head. I love Project Farm. Probably the most efficient reviewer on YouTube. Yeah. The thing about it is like he doesn't review it. He just like puts it all through the tests and then says, hey, this is how it did. If I was on a budget, I'd get this one. I watched a lot of those channels. If you like Donut Media, look up Jason Kern. Yes. So I have seen a lot of his stuff too. Pop up and down headlights. Yeah. Because it looks like you just rolled out of bed. I don't know what that means. I put my hair up because it looked like this. Everything's been shut down, and usually this is about the time where I get a haircut. So I'm just going with it. Y'all love me just the way I am, bedhead and all. Steve watches The Hockey Guy. $10. Hey, KM. Hey, Rainey. Love the channel. Newbie here. Do vinyl or CD? No vinyl or CD collection. Building my first system. Okay to use Blue Sound Power Node as a DAC with an Emotiva XPA 2 Gen 3? Sure. I don't think the Power Node has preamp outputs though. That was one of the questionable decisions they made with the power node, is they did not include preamp outs. And so if that's the case, then you won't be able to use the power node. If it's just a node, then you could. Power node. Let's look at the back. Let's look at the back. I don't see any preamp outs. Now IRN, analog in 2, sub out, analog in. Yeah. So unfortunately, no. You could not use the power node with the XPA. You can't use the power node with anything, which really shocked me that they did not include preamp outputs, because that is a one-trick pony. If you're not using it as an amp, like if you think, hey, I'm going to buy this power node, and then later on when I get a better amp, I'm going to use the power node as basically a preamp. Can't do it. It blows me away that they did not include preamp outs with that product. Am I going to Axpona? Yes. Although I haven't bought my plane tickets, which I should probably do. So many people want to fry their and speakers. IEMA A07. I'm not sure what that means. Did you catch my message about the Yamaha NS6490 you gave a bad review on? I don't know. I don't think I've ever reviewed the NS6490. On the midst of modifying them with braces and cross. Oh, is that the speaker? I want to test them. Do I want to test them when I'm done? Oh, that speaker was terrible. Yeah. Oh, that was such a bad speaker. Maybe, but they're so big, man. You don't want to be sending those around. I tell you what, if you just like write up what you did, maybe I could just do it. But that speaker sucks. And I don't like just saying that, because usually some speakers have some redeeming factor. But like they just threw 3 drivers into a really crappy enclosure. That would be a fun project, though. John Shepler, theory says coax, more bandwidth. Robert Mitchell says my hair is fine. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. I don't particularly care how I look. I mean, I want to be somewhat presentable, but like I really don't care if I look like a maniac or not. I would watch back some of my first videos and I look like a homeless dude. And I did like my whole shtick was, I'll wake up and do a video. And so I'd wake up and do a video and it looked like I woke up and did a video. Am I going to the Florida Audio Expo in a couple of weeks? Unfortunately not. My wife has a trip planned for that weekend, and then my daughter has a college visit the same weekend. And I was absolutely planning on going, and it was going to be a blast, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to attend the Florida Audio Show. But should definitely be at Expo. Pantene Plus? No. I have brutal dandruff, so I have to use a dandruff shampoo. Kyle Fitch, $9.99. Thank you so much. $5 is going to go to Feeding America. Denton 80th versus ELAC debut reference. Wow, this is quite a very good question, because those speakers have a lot in common. Whew. And I love both those speakers so much. This is a great question. This may be one of the best put me on the spot questions I've had in a while. I would probably go with the Denton. I don't know what it is. The Denton has a little bit more presence on the top end. I mean, the ELACs are beasts. They play They're going to play louder. They're going to have a little bit more romantic sound to them. But I think at lower volumes, the Denton 80th is going to be the speaker that I prefer the most. So there's my answer. They're both fantastic, though. I still have the reference back there. Still great. I will never sell that speaker. Great speaker. Juan Madrigal, $4.99. Like the live stream. Thank you, Juan. $2.50. Going to Feeding America. All right, we got 5, I believe, euros. First super chat for me. Feeding America seems like a good idea, and I really like your live streams. Thank you, Thomas. Look at Garfield out there just staring into the cosmos. Maybe meditating. Thank you, Thomas, very much. It's very, very nice of you. Yamaha needs to stop with those low-end speakers. For a company that makes everything from high-quality studio gear to motorcycles, get your crap together. Yeah, I'm sure there's just no money in like home audio. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're, they do the receivers and everything. There's just probably no money in speakers. And they have one that they can just continue to sell at a price point. So it would be interesting, but I think from a business perspective, we kind of fool ourselves into thinking we're way more important than we are. And there's just not a ton of like home speaker, like especially passive speakers. Like we are a dying breed. Like almost all the stuff that's coming out is powered subwoofer. I mean, if you go to Best Buy and click on home theater, it's not like home theater separates pop up and passive speak. It's, it's sound bars and stuff, and they're getting to be pretty good. But yeah, I wish they would too. What ships did you serve on while in the Navy? 3 subs for me. I served on the USS Nevada. That was all. And then it went into the yard. Which boats did you serve on? I'm surprised you said ships and you were on subs, because usually sub guys say boats. What boats were you on? Your old vids are still awesome to watch. How tough it was. That wobbly table is good stuff. Yeah. Men always love the 3-in-1. Okay. It's super dry. Is it super dry in your house? Yeah, probably. I was joking about the dandruff. I mean, I'm not joking about the dandruff. I use dandruff shampoo, but yeah. Whatever happened to you and Ron? Nothing, man. Like Ron's doing his thing. We text every now and again. He's doing his thing, man, which is cool. We're still buddies. Have I ever reviewed the Polk S8? I don't know. Is that a sub? I reviewed the PSW 10, I believe. I actually have 2 of those in the house. People love that Denton. Yeah. I do love the Denton. Dentons equal dented Denons? Maybe. It's a hot take, hot theory. I was wondering what Dentons were. Lintons? The Wharfdale Denton. There's 2 versions, the 80th edition, which is around 500, and then the 85th, which are more expensive. Any experience with the B&W SO5 S2? No. I don't have any experience with any B&W speakers. I heard a couple of pair at a guy's house early on, but no, I've never had a B&W speaker in here. Which cartridge do you prefer, OM20 or 2M Blue? I haven't heard the OM20. I've heard the OM10. I like the 2M Blue. I think it's really, really, really solid cart. I also like the Gold Ring E2, maybe? I can't remember. It's purple. Maybe it's the E3. That's what it looks like. I like this one too. And I've been told that this is just a rebranded Audio Technica. But I like this one quite a bit. Here's the blue. Show and tell. Here's the Nagaoka. I don't have it mounted right now. MP110. Hey, John Payne, $10. Thank you. $5. Going to Feeding America. Randy, I'm torn between the Freya and the Base X PT2. My amp is an Emotiva TA2. Huh? Speakers are Unify 5.2. What are your thoughts? If your amp is the TA2, then you already have a preamp. Am I missing something? Yeah, TA1, TA2. Yeah, you basically have, Randy, I'm torn between the Freya and the Base X PT2. You basically have a PT2, except you have an amplifier section in it. So if you're wanting to upgrade, what is your power amp? Because the TA2 is legitimately the PT2, just with a power section. Unless I'm missing something here. No, they're old floor standers. Oh, I haven't heard those then. I have not heard those. Super Doughy M loves his 85th Lintons. I have the Linton. I don't know if it's an 85th or not. Bye, Barton. Have a good day, man. DeShelley are on a 45-day lead time as of Tuesday. But Randy, have you any plans to compare J2 to Cord Mojo 2, winner of loads of under 1,000 DAC award? No, Cord doesn't talk to me, man. Like Cord doesn't know I exist. I'm not going to go out and buy a Cord Mojo. And I'll tell you the reason why. It's not because it's a bad product. It's because it's a DAC that is like it's meant for traveling and stuff like that. Like it's not meant to be in a system. It can be in a system, but that thing's, I think, battery powered, right? So nothing against Cord. They don't know I exist. I've reached out to their US distribution before. I never got anything back. So yeah, I'm sure Cord's great. I know one of my patrons bought one, and guess what? He returned it right away. So yeah, that comparison is probably not happening because I'm not going to go out and buy a Cord Mojo. And I have no contact with their folks. I think Cord is like really happy to work with certain creators. And I don't think that my channel has the vibe that Cord wants to support. That's pure speculation on my part. But I think they're a European company, and yeah, they probably don't even know I exist. Cord's products are way more expensive in the US compared to their prices in the UK. Mojo 2 Cord products are popular in head-fi, aka headphones and IEMs. Yeah, because it's like why can I not think of the word? It's like it's not like a dongle DAC, but in essence, it's kind of is like a self-powered dongle DAC headphone amp. Yeah. Even though both of the ones I showed need to be plugged in for power. But yeah, I don't think it's a home kind of component. Like I said, it can be used as a home component. I know it's got DSP. I know it looks cool. It's got little bubbles and stuff, but Cord, reach out to me. Reach out to me, Cord. I'd be happy to review your stuff, but I doubt it. Iggy, first time on a live feed. Cool, dude. What up, Iggy? Cord Q-Test 1350 in the UK, 2100 in the US. And I have got all sorts of people calling me today. Ooh, Adam Audio. You know what? I need to reach out to Zeos and see if he's got a contact at Adam, because I know he does a lot of those, and I would love to get those in. They keep coming up. What's your opinion on YouTube rips? Seems like it can be all over the place. I use that in Spotify. Spotify is not the best, bud, but lots of music. Are you talking about like a streaming platform? I've never listened to YouTube music. Sorry. I've never listened to YouTube music, so I couldn't comment. I think they're both 320 kilobits per second. So, yeah. I don't know. I couldn't comment. Sorry, 1350 pounds. I bought the Basics A3, but I was disappointed in the dynamic range, so I got the Parasound Zone Master 2, which sounds great. as my Arcam AV-R5. Could you do a review on the Parasound Zone Master 2? I could, but again, I don't have a contact at Parasound. A lot of these companies, I don't have a contact at. My TV only has 16-bit sound quality, and Amazon Music Ultra HD is 24-bit. Am I losing a lot of sound quality? Probably not. I mean, it depends. Like, if you're using your TV as a switch, but you don't have to. Like, I would need to know more about your system as far as, like, are you going into a receiver? Are you using the streaming of your television out to? Because if you're optical outing of it, then you may not be restricted to 24-bit. I would need to know more. But even if you are, I mean, usually, I mean, you have to really lean into things to hear differences when it comes to bit and sample rates. Some people will claim, yes, you can hear a huge difference. In my experience, it's tough to hear a difference, even between like 24/192 and MP3. YouTube Music sounds okay on desktop PC speakers and Apple AirBuds. Tidal and Amazon Music is better for complete systems, in my opinion. There you go. I have both YouTube Music, Tidal, and Spotify. I tend to enjoy Tidal the most. There you go. Can you go back to my super chat? Yes. K-Wad. K-Wad, here we go. First upgrade to Fluence RT. Oh, thank you. And I'm sorry that I missed this. First upgrade to Fluence RT85, Sony SSCS5, basic Fozzy audio amp preamp for vinyl in a smaller room. Thanks for all the info. First upgrade to I'm confused on the question. Like, do you own all of these? And that's your system? Sony SSCS5, basic Fozzy audio amp preamp for vinyl. I mean, you gotta have a phono preamp in there. Basic Fozzy audio amp preamp for vinyl in smaller room. Thanks for all the info. I'm a little bit confused on the question. Can you tell me if you have a phono preamp in there? Because if you don't, that would be my first upgrade. And Fozzy makes a decent $60 phono preamp. I think it's like the tube box or something like that. But the RT85 is, that's pretty much maxed out just the way it is. Sony SSCS5s are pretty good. If the Fozzy audio has maybe a sub out, you might consider a sub if you're using the Sonys, because although it's a great speaker, they still lack a bit on the bottom end, and you could fill those out, dial it in really good, and it would sound probably awesome. Let's see if you applied down here. Love the vid with the Emotiva president. Like how he wouldn't say the name of his rants in the video. Yeah. People didn't watch that video. I got a lot of hate on that video, but just simply because I said the original title was HDMI 2.1 is a scam. And the whole point is not saying that 2.1 is bad. It's just that it's a red herring and people are worrying about it more than they actually need to. Because even if you're a gamer, like, your TV needs to support 8K and 120 hertz refresh rate. Like, why are people worried about 2.1 and all that stuff when they can just go straight to the TV and come out? Because most of the content, and people say 8K content's coming. I don't know, man. Like 4K content finally got ubiquitous within the last year or two. Anyway, that was my only point, that like, if people are worrying about 2.1, they're worried about the wrong things. Anyway, $10, Franken Studio, $10. I gotta go. Thanks for your live stream. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Franken Studio. $5 going to Feeding America. Thank you, my friend. I have all of those, including the Fozzy Phono Pre. Okay. I would add a sub. And then after that, you could consider like which Fozzy amp preamp do you have? Because the TB10D is pretty solid. And you have tone controls with that one. Do you switch components out a lot for fun or stick to the same stuff consistently? No, it's constantly changing just for your own personal listening. I don't have any personal listening at this point. I think the stuff that stays the most stable is like the home theater stuff because I don't change that out as much. But right now, this is the Freya N, and then I have two Freya Tears, and then not Freya Tears, two Schkit Tears, and then the Schkit Lokius. Okay. So this has been kind of my latest system that I've been listening to. In the living room, I've been listening to two speakers that will remain nameless at this point. But those are running off of the SVS Soundbase Pro. So I'm not usually just sitting down and like listening for pleasure ever at this point. Occasionally I'll watch a movie, but most of the other time I'm like just jammed up doing stuff. Fozzy BT20A. BT20A. I would upgrade to the Fozzy TB10D. I think that's the one. BT20A is good, but TB10D is better. You get better. Brian Boulden, where you been my whole life? $20. $10 going to Feeding America. Feels like a winter Midwestern afternoon around here. I know it. Is the Emotiva MR1 receiver the best bang for the buck out there? Market disruptor, thinking about it for dedicated home theater. You know, I haven't played a lot in the $2,000, $3,000 receiver area. I would say though that if I had the budget, listening to that versus the Pioneer VLX VX305, I like the sound of the Emotiva better. But more importantly, if I ever wanted to, first of all, it has preamp outs for every channel, but I don't even know why you would need it, simply because it's putting out so much power anyway. And it sounds so good, even for music, that it's like I wouldn't feel the need for two channel setup in addition to that. The EmoQ, when I set it up with the EmoQ, it probably did the best job outside of DAC out of giving me levels that sounded good. Usually I have to go back in and tweak things up a bit. That could have been my room though. But even when I ran DAC, I still went in and I adjusted 1800 hertz up to about 3000 hertz a little bit. And I just didn't feel the need to do that with EmoQ. So I would say that if you need all of the power and you need all of the channels, that the MR1 is probably the best bang for the buck out there. As far as being a market disruptor, I don't know that, because there's still a fight between the 2.1, right? That was the big thing about that video is, no 2.1, no 2.1, no 2.1. I don't know if you're doing 8K or whatever video. I thought it was interesting that he said there's going to be receivers that only have an E-arc, which I think is kind of smart. Anyway, I love the MR1. I think it's awesome. I think if you're going to use all the channels, then yeah, it's probably the best bang for the buck out there. Or even like 9 channels. It's pretty outstanding. Glad to see you, man. Hope you're staying put. DAC, it's room correction. What is DAC? Yeah, it's room correction. It's like pretty it's kind of like I wouldn't say the gold standard, but it is a very good room correction for home theater and really music in general. So it's pretty outstanding. And lower cost receivers are starting to implement it and license it. So it's good. It's not the only game in town though, and it's not like you need that. But if there's a receiver for around $1,000 that has DRAC, because DRAC covers up a lot of sins for receivers that don't sound great. The good thing about the MR1 is it already sounds good, so you don't have to like talk it into sounding good. Like the Pioneer that I have kind of has to be talked into sounding good, but once it is, it sounds great. Everyone praises AirPod Pro 2. I just got a pair and I love them. I wanted wired IM and I was considering the Emotiva receivers a piece. I don't know what you're considering. I got the AirPods Pro 2 for my daughter. And I almost got myself a pair, but it was like Christmas time. And I'm like, oh, I want to buy myself a pair, but I'm like, I've spent so much money that I didn't. But I think it'd be cool because you can watch like spatial audio, I think from your computer or from your phone. And I have a Mac laptop. And I watch a lot of movies on my laptop. So I have to figure that out. And if that's the case, I probably will get it. Won't necessarily be for music because I use the Soundcore Liberty Pro 3s, I think, almost all the time. And they're pretty good for music. So, yeah. Santiago Fuertes Jr. Sorry, mistyped enter. I need to learn about streaming. My Fire Stick does not like Tidal. Yeah, you can get yourself a Weem. Weem Pro. Or Weem Mini. These are like $80. Easy peasy. You can optical out of it or you can analog out of it. It's all the streaming you'll ever need, I bet. How long have we been going? When did we start at? 11:15. When you reviewing the benchmark AHB2? I don't know. I've never talked to them. I keep expecting Apple to come out with a lossless Bluetooth codec and a new AirPod Max 2 to kill the competition. Even if they do, like, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be lossless because even AirPlay 2 is not lossless. AirPlay 2 still kind of converts it to ALAC and sometimes to even to the Bluetooth. What is it? I cannot believe I cannot remember this. What is the Apple Bluetooth? So ALAC is the Apple lossless. AAC, that's it. So sometimes AirPlay actually will downsample all the way to AAC if they don't have the bandwidth. So even if they do have quote unquote lossless Bluetooth, it's not going to be lossless. It's still being packaged on one end and unpacked on the other. And maybe in the perfect conditions, it could be bit perfect lossless, but even AirPlay and AirPlay 2 does not do lossless because they're still changing things to one thing and to another. And then they're making decisions about the bandwidth dependent upon how much throughput they have. So I think that's going to be, I think the marketing speak around that is going to be, it can do full res music or 24/192 with 1600 kilobits per second throughput. I think that's the way the marketing will sound. And I'm sure in theory, in perfect conditions, it can transmit that amount of data. But as far as lossless, and usually when I hear lossless, I think people probably mean bit perfect. I don't think it's going to happen. And I don't really think it even matters because right now with powered Bluetooth headphones, IEMs, they're still putting their spin on it anyway. I mean, fundamentally, you have a DAC and an amplifier in each IEM. So it's all really DSP driven anyway. So once it even gets to your ears, it's being put through their DSP blender. So by the time you get it in your head, it's been touched by so many different DSP filters that, like, it is what it is. So for wireless headphones and everything, like, if it sounds good to you, then it sounds good to you. And I think, again, just like HDMI 2.1, I think at this point, like, a lossless Bluetooth is a red herring, because the headphones are already doing more DSP than anything else. So yeah, yeah, yeah. True. And do you think the marketing is the same for the new aptX lossless codec coming? There is a lot of hype for it recently. It's going to be the same thing. And in theory, if it's great, it's great. But I think the headphones and the DSP settings that they have, or any of the baked in EQs, or your ability to do an EQ in there, I think makes way more of a difference than the actual codec. And it's really like streaming, period. So we could, like, what would you rather have? Would you rather have bit perfect streaming through a $70 okay DAC? Because, like, even though you have bit perfect, it's still got to go through that DAC door. And then it's got to come out the DAC door and go into your amplifier. And then it's got to go into your speakers. So you have speakers, you have amp, and you have a DAC. And then you have that bit perfect stream. So it's like having, it's like taking a picture through, like, a tree, a window, and a curtain, and then the picture is actually back here. So the tree, the window, the curtain are going to impact your picture way more than the actual person that maybe not there, like, full. It's like taking a picture of a picture. So even though the picture may be perfect, it's still got to go through all those layers. And so I think the perfection of the picture is a red herring argument when it comes to how things sound. I guess that's what the point I'm trying to make. I just don't think it matters, because there's too many variables besides the actual throughput or the resolution of the music. Need to run. Love the channel and still appreciate solid advice reviews that helped me build my awesome for me 2.1 channel system. Cheers. Thank you, Chris. 250 going to Feeding America. Any thoughts on changing J2 op amps to Sparkos? If it improved A07, would it change the DAC? I'm sure it may, and it could, but for me, I like my Gishelli Labs just the way they're made. Like, that's one of those things that, like, I'm never going to try to improve upon it because I think it's absolutely perfect the way it is. Could it be better? Maybe, but I'm not going to be the one that finds out. So I think as far as the J2, the Gishelli Labs, well, as far as I would take it is maybe changing the power supply. I'm never going to pop the hood. I'm never going to put anything down that isn't down, but I might change the power supply, but that's about it on that one. Loving the topping E50 DAC. Thanks for the recommendation. Best I can describe is instrument realism and separation, maybe cleaner bass compared to the DAC in my T9. Yeah, I agree. I just found the E50 sounded so natural compared to a lot of other DACs in the same price range. And at $200, because it's a little bit long in the tooth now, which is great, they're probably going to come out with another one, a different version, which means it's going to be even cheaper. That E50 is a great DAC. And if you need a remote control, it is a no-brainer recommendation. Jim Mather with his Nirvana shirt on, I think. Is that a Nirvana shirt? $10. Thank you. $5 going to Feeding America. Thank you, Jim. Brian Romska, some companies put high-res stickers on everything, even if it's analog. It's funny. Yeah. Well, analog is the OG high-res. Yeah, I remember. I think that ship has sailed. Like, I think the high-res ship has sailed. The Sony SSCS5s, they have a high-res audio sticker on the side of the box. Yeah, I think that ship has sailed. Eric Ritchie, $5. Thank you. $2.50 going to some needy folks out there. So yeah. OG high res would be that would be cool. Like a speaker, like a turntable, and then like an amp and the speaker, and it'd be like OG high res music. But the only people that would get that joke are audio nerds like us. Have I ever considered reviewing cheap discrete components like Oracle 2 op amps? I did the Sparkos Labs op amp. I did that as kind of a standalone video, and I actually did really well as a video. But I think the way I packaged it was I said make a $70 amp sound like a $1,000 amp, and so that it got a lot of clicks, and it was the Sparkos. So that was a great video. I don't know if I can grab lightning in a bottle like that again. Critical opinion on the Apple 3.5 millimeter app dongle. Critical opinion. I don't know what that means. I think it's for $8 or whatever it is. It's about as good as you can get. It doesn't do 192. I think it maxes out at 96 kilohertz, but for $8, as good as it sounds, I mean, it's great, I think. I mean, analog doesn't resolve, so high fidelity seems better suited, but not sure that implies something else altogether. I don't know what that means. Probably already been mentioned, but Amazon has SSCS5s. Oh, they're $123. I'll share that out. I shall share that out. It's so sad when 123 is the new 100. All right. Sony SSCS5. $123. John, going back to John, if you revisit my super chat, I have the A2 amp. Okay. Well, if you have the TA2 and it's really the TA2, then you don't need the PT2. Because the TA2 can be a it can be a preamp. I'm confused though, because if you had the TA2, why would you have the A2? If that makes sense. I think we got another super chat. Bruce Evans, $19.99. $10 going to Feeding America. Good karma to all positive folks on this channel. Challenge you to help good cause and good guy. I'm trying to help, man. Stevie D, $10. Randy, just got to feed you and the rest of America. Yeah, it costs more than $1 to feed me for a meal. Do you think they'll go lower? Yes, they do, but they've gotten savvy and they only go lower on like one day of Black Friday or Cyber Monday or maybe around. So what I noticed last year is that the 123 was pretty much the bottom, and then like twice they would go down to, I think it was 88, maybe 3 times, but it was only for a day. And it used to be they would keep it at, $78 for a few days, but now I saw it for $88 and it was there for one day, kind of like Prime Days and things like that. So 123 is not the best price, but it's probably the most common price, if that makes sense. Gotta go back to John. He had a green J in his name. Because I'm confused on why you would have a PT2 and an A2, and then, or a TA2 and an A2, and then be considering the PT2. I can't find you, brother. There's so many people. All right, we'll go back down. Audrey Tube 1, $9.99. Thank you. Listening to you in car, wife and kids. We all love you. Aw. Well, y'all be careful. It's snowy right here. I hope the kids are having fun. And I hope you have a great time. Maybe listen to some Wheels on the Bus or something. You don't want to listen to my stupidity in the radio. John Caruso, $10. $5 going to Feeding America. Hey, hi there. I know you don't like powered speakers, but I was wondering if you've ever listened to any of the Audio Engine speakers. Love your opinion if you have. Thanks. I don't have those. No, I don't. I don't have those, but I've heard of them. I should get some there. Where do you live? Texas. The GR products crossover upgrade for SSCS5s. You'll have to check with them. Use a camel to track prices. Man, I wish I lived in the States. You guys have so much access to so much great gear for decent prices. Yeah, we do. We're really fortunate to be here. There are some things in the EU that has better pricing than we get over here, but for the most part, we are very, 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 very fortunate for having what we have. So yes, we are lucky. All right, I think we're going to call it, everybody. I appreciate all of the super chats today. 50%. Once I get the final numbers on here, I will cut a check over to Feeding America for 50% of what came in today. I appreciate all of your support, and thank you so much for supporting that charity and my channel. So more content to come this week. Hope you all have a great Wednesday. Bye.